Okay, we are live, and I'm going to kick it off to Michelle to introduce everyone and what we're going to do. But just a reminder to everyone to mute yourself and undo your video. So we have just Michelle and I on. So thanks. Okay, Mish, up to you.
All right, thanks, Kate. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining this Sunday night, especially a President's Day weekend. Um, I just want to run through a quick kind of agenda of what we're going to cover, and then we will jump right into it. So tonight you have myself, Michelle DeLuca, and Katie Cox here, going to share our stories with you, a little bit about ourselves. We'll tell you who we're looking for, what we do, and kind of what we're all about. So get excited. Sunday night, here we are. All right, so let's just kick right into it. As I mentioned, my name is Michelle DeLuca, and I worked in brand strategy consulting for 10 years. I traveled anywhere and everywhere, and while it afforded me many opportunities and wonderful experiences, truly, the 12-hour days, the limited time on the weekends, and the nomadic lifestyle, quite frankly, got old fast. It didn't offer exactly what I consider to be work-life balance, and certainly was not sustainable for the long term, especially with family on the mind and such. So being burned out with a job that I actually really enjoyed by my early 30s was kind of rough, but it led me back to grad school to pursue my passion for mental health counseling. And becoming a student again, if you know me, I'm a huge nerd, and it was exciting and thrilling. But what was less thrilling was walking away from a 10-year in the making salary, especially as I was planning a wedding, among other adulting things. And so that wasn't exactly an easy pill to swallow. So not to mention I had just finished paying off my undergraduate loans and really didn't want to dive into any more debt. So I was kind of looking for something that would afford me flexibility, that would allow me to supplement an income, but also didn't demand a rigid schedule that, hours that I did not have on top of my 30 hours a week working as the graduate assistant, as well as 15 hours a week of master's classes. So I had actually heard of Rodan Fields through a family friend who was an extremely successful woman, personally, professionally, someone I respected, someone I admired. And I was also familiar with the doctor's legacy of success, which I will share a bit about their story and how the brand came to fruition. And so it just was kind of the perfect storm, and it was pretty much exactly what I was looking for in terms of that flexibility to make a supplemental income. What I didn't realize 2.5 years ago when I started this business, just how big of a diamond this business was. It has, as I mentioned, been in almost 2.5, 3 years, has afforded me the ability to grow a team and mentor other like-minded women who are looking for choices in their life, and also grow a very solid customer base, and all the while making a sizable income. And by sizable, I mean, I went from thinking I could pay for my books to paying my mortgage and then some. And I was doing this all around my schooling, my work, volunteering, and an overly booked social schedule, which is all my fault. But the point is, I could do this even amongst the busy craziness of my life. And then just on a personal note, additionally, my husband and I actually somewhat struggled to start our family. And it's been, it was a challenging journey these last 2 years, but we fortunately had the extra funds and the extra time flexibility to commit to fertility. And now we excitedly and gratefully are awaiting the birth of our first child this summer. And I'm just beyond grateful for this business because it has given me the choice to work where and how much that I want to, so that I can prioritize, my child, his or her first life, first year in life. And so to say this business has been a blessing is a massive understatement. So that's just a little bit about me. And now, just to give a little background, I'm going to share the doctor story. Our doctors, our famous doctors, wonderful doctors, Dr. Katie Rodan and Dr. Kathy Fields, formerly known as the creators of Proactive, who clearly changed the acne market globally. These doctors, you know, with that success, decided that they ultimately really felt most at home in their private practices, working one-on-one with patients. But when they were doing that, they had patients saying, listen, you solved my acne with Proactive, but what about, fine lines, eczema, rosacea, the sun damage? And they realized there was this huge unmet need for products that actually delivered on what they said they were going to. And so they recognized this opportunity, called their friends up at Estee Lauder and said, we've got this brilliant idea for a clinical brand. Would you back us? And of course, with their success, the brand Estee Lauder said, absolutely. So they launched Rodan Fields Dermatologist in high-end department stores, and within the first year became the #1 clinical selling brand. After doing a little bit of market research, they realized that the power of this brand was all through word of mouth referrals. So it was really growing based on social commerce, recommendations from a friend. And that's when the doctor said, you know what? We're not in the right channel. We are going to break up with Estee Lauder and enter direct sales, because this is where the power of the people lies. Since then, and it was a bit of a risk at this time. It was kind of a new industry that was just kind of starting to grow with the rise of social media. But thank goodness they did, because these doctors have taken this brand to the next level. It's been the fastest premium skincare brand for the last 5 years, growing over 100% in a category that is actually declining. And we are currently positioned as the #2 premium skincare brand in the United States. And we're just getting started, as we've started making a footprint in Canada, and we'll be launching in Australia this spring. So that's just a little bit of a background of the company, how they came to be, where we've come from, and how fast we've grown. And now I'm going to kick it over to Katie to hear from her.
Thanks, Michelle. Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Cox. I'm going to share a little bit about myself, and then I will wrap it up and give you more insight into what we do as consultants and really who we're looking for to grow our business with. So a little bit about me. I am a wife and mom of 2 young boys, and I am a pediatric nurse practitioner. My background in medicine has always been in caring for children who are either terminally or chronically ill. And I share that with you because it really is a huge part of why I do this, and how this has changed my life in so many ways, this business. So my profession is something I'm truly passionate about, and Rodan Fields, by no means in joining this business, was an exit strategy from my job, really. I was first introduced through my sister. She was a stay-at-home mom, and when she introduced the business to me, I was really happy for her because I thought it was something great for her to do. Fast forward a couple years, I see my sister achieve monumental success around her family very fast, having a lot of fun. And around this time, I was referring to her a lot of business. My friends were asking me about what she was doing. If I heard anyone talking about their skin, I was referring them to my sister. If they were looking for additional income, I would always say, oh, you have to talk to my sister. She has the best gig going. So it took me about 3 years for her to say to me, what are you doing? You are doing exactly what I do, except I get paid to do it and you're not. And it was actually the perfect time for me because at that time I had just had my second son and I was returning to work. And while I was, like I said, loved my job, I had tremendous guilt about leaving my children to take care of other children. And one of the things that in caring with the patient population that I have is that they really taught me that there is no greater gift in this world than your health and your loved ones and being able to spend time with them. So that is something that I've always carried with me. And I felt a lot like a hypocrite because here I was, I felt like I was given this gift by so many patients, and I was leaving my own kids to go take care of others. So when I joined Rodan Fields, I thought, if I could just get a little bit of control in my life, a cleaning lady, something to give me time back, then I would be fine. I could have more time with my kids and still work. But what really happened was it gave me more than financial flexibility. It really gave me time flexibility. In a year's time, I worked my business every day, and my numbers checked out in that I was able to actually retire from my position as a nurse practitioner. But what happened was when I did go to retire, it was a little bit of a bittersweet thing to me. And while I knew I wanted to be home, I knew I was going to be missing a piece of me as a practitioner. So my boss actually said to me, you're not going anywhere. Would you work with us 2 days a week? And that to me was my turning point in this business, because I didn't realize it at the time that I joined, but that's exactly why I joined, to have the choice to be with my family, to have the choice to practice on my own terms, and to have that control back into my life. So I am so grateful for this business. I am so grateful for all the patients that I've cared for, because they have really given me that value of being present. And really, because of this journey, I get to do that and be mom. So that is my story. And now I'm going to share with you a little bit about what we do. So as Rodan Fields consultants, we are storytellers. Our job is basically to share the products and to share the opportunity. Our skincare is the best there is. We have something for everyone, and really people see active changes in their skin. The products do the work for you. People love their results. They talk about them. Their friends notice them, and their friends want them. And then the other part of our job is to really share the opportunity, to share our story, to share what attracted us to this business, to make connections. This is a business that you don't have to be a salesperson. You don't have to have a background as a nurse, as a brand strategist. You don't have to be a mom or a woman. This business is really about being yourself. If you upload yourself and share it with others, you will 100% be successful in this business. Who we're looking for. So we are looking for people who are looking for change, who are motivated, who see the vision that we see, and who are willing to share it with others. This is something that it does not take up a lot of time in your day, in the sense of sitting behind the computer doing work like we're so conventionally used to thinking of work. This is about starting conversations with people. And ironically, I wanted to share with you all that today is Sunday, and up until Tuesday, our home office is offering this incentive that anyone who becomes a consultant with 2 of our biggest business kits will be gifted 50 conversation starters. So I've never seen this before. I've been doing this business almost 3 years. This is an amazing opportunity to get your business off to a fast start. So that is a little bit about who we are, what we do, and who we're looking for. I encourage you that if you have questions, if you feel excited, if you're interested, please circle back to the person that invited you to listen to us. Our enrollment takes less than 5 minutes. It can be done this evening. Don't forget about the incentive that expires on Tuesday, the 21st, in case you're watching this on a different day. And then finally, I just want to close you with this. So if you have a penny, I want you to grab it because this is a little exercise to help you sift through a lot of noise in your head. I get it. Even though I learned about this business from my sister, pulling the trigger on this can be daunting and scary. And there's a lot of what ifs. But what I want you to do is pick a side, or I'm going to tell you the side. Heads is you're in, tails is you're out. And what I want you to do is flip it over, but don't look at it. Okay, so flip it. Okay, don't look at it because it doesn't matter what it says. When the coin was in the air, what was your gut telling you? What did you want it to say? Even though maybe it was the scariest option, maybe that's truly what you believe is the right decision for you. And go with that because that is your gut. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Circle back to the person who invited you if you have any questions. And for those of you who have a day off tomorrow, enjoy it. Have a great one, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.